Yes. Super Mario Odyssey. One of the best games of all time. The one where Mario can be Bowser for like one area and it's never expanded upon. Jokes aside, Mario Odyssey is probably one of the best games ever. The movement is smooth as butter, it has tons of content when going for 100%, and I will die on the hill that Luigi's Balloon World is still a lot of fun. But given you read the title and thumbnail, you could probably guess what my favorite aspect of the game is. The hint arts. If you have no idea what a hint art is, it is these little pieces of art that reside in most kingdoms which lead you to a mood that is hidden in a different kingdom. For example, here's a hint art I cooked up from a while ago for an existing moon. These two being things from Luncheon Kingdom, which I took from a game screen cap, the compass pointing to where you should go, and a general area mock-up of where the moon is. This is the ideal hint art. It gives you everything you need without being entirely cryptic. But before getting to my criteria, I must thank you all for helping me reach 200 whole subscribers. We did it, guys. We are out of the woods, trust me. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers in 400 more years. We got this. And if we do, you guys can finally fund my crippling addiction to WarioWare. Anyways, the criteria, or how I will be ranking the hint arts going forward, I have boiled it down to a few factors. How much I had to think, which means if the moon is completely mindless, then it's not going to get a good score. How unique it is. If the art is too similar to other pieces, a good score will not be given, unless it does something interesting and is more puzzling. Finally, my personal experience in finding it. If it took me a guide to get where the moon is, a good score probably won't happen. There's one exception to this, but we will get there way later. Alright, now with that out of the way, my least favorite hint art is number 41. Holy shit, I had no idea there were 41 of these. This might take me a while. Anyways, I have so much beef with this hint art in specific. I hate it so much. It took me an hour just to find, and it's in an obvious spot. What I initially thought was an angle thing where the two street signs crossed. You could just ground pound in the center of both roads, but I had to look it up. So, immediately put this at the bottom spot. I only got this moon after looking it up. So, no fond memories of this hint art. I hate it with so much fiber of my being. Number 40. Luigi Sand Kingdom Hint Art 1, which for the Luigi Hint Arts I will be referring to as L Arts from now on, is honestly not bad, but is way too easy. Like, obviously it's just a floating pyramid, so not bad, it's just not creative and just bland. Looks Hint Art 5 is like baby's first hint art. It's probably the easiest one, so it's just bland as a result. I like the art though. Number 38. Now, I like how it's in Cloud Kingdom. That's kind of rare, but it does nothing. It's just really obvious. I put it above 5 because it does require a little thinking. Number 37. LR Cloud Kingdom is one of the most cryptic in the game, and it's god-awful for it. I mean, you have eyes? Look at this! At a random corner in Cloud Kingdom. Yeah, they do give you ABC chords, but that doesn't forgive this stupid-looking hint art. This one sucks. There's one way better than this, but we'll get there. Number 36. They hit the second tropical wiggler! This one is simple. I mean, it's fine. It does its job well. Maybe it requires some thinking, but it's a complete joke and not crazy enough for me to want to rip my ears out, like with the other ones. Number 35. LR Mushroom Kingdom 2 hint art is just weird. It's unique, but very, very confusing. The only true hint you get is this, which I was able to quickly find out was a staircase in the moat of the castle, and Luigi was just randomly next to it. I'm super divided on this one because, like, it's unique, but way too cryptic, so that's why it's number 35 on the list. Number 34. Lake Kingdom hint art is the first and worst of the spot the difference hint arts. Despite me saying it's the worst, I can't lie, I do like this one a lot actually. And this goes for most hint arts going forward because I love this one, but it's way too simple to put any higher. Like, it's obvious. It's too obvious. Number 33. Seaside Kingdom's hint art is easy once you know what the kingdom it is. And frankly, I didn't get this one when I first played the game, but when I revisited Metro, I was like, oh, that's where the moon is. Number 32. LR Mushroom Kingdom 1 is simple in its design, and it was a fairly easy grab. I do like how it requires the knowledge of the sheep pen to actually find it, because that circle right there is that sheep pen. So I think it's a fun concept overall. Could be more interesting, but I'm not complaining. Number 31. LR Cap Kingdom has a nice concept. I like how you can tell it is in Cap Kingdom, and it has a very telling aspect of where it is, given how a Paragoomba is right next to where the crescent is. It is not a complete joke to find. When I first tried finding it, it took me around 15 minutes, but overall, I think this one is pretty dang good. Number 30. LR Seaside Kingdom is fun. It's a little confusing at first, but when you find out that the image is actually just flipped upside down, it makes you feel like a genius. Number 29. Darkside Hint Art 2 is easy, but I don't know. It's like a little harder than the other obvious ones. And if I'm being honest, I have a soft spot for this because when the game first came out, I saw the Darkside Moon Hint Arts. And I did love this one because it was the first one I found out the Darkside Moons. So I have some nostalgia bias. I can't believe this game is 7 years old. Number 28. Metro Kingdom's hint art is the first to utilize everyone's favorite dog, Poochie. And yeah, sadly, I don't really care for this one. The best part is how Poochie is just there. Plus, there's a better hint art that utilizes Lake Kingdom tiles. Number 27. Snow Kingdom's hint art is just another Poochie art. And the reason it's above Metro's is I like how Poochie is circled by the coin ring, which makes it easy to discover if you have your camera right where the photo is shot. Number 26. Moon Kingdom's hint art is obvious, but not too easy given how the wooded areas kind of look the same. It's not garbage, and I'm biased towards the Poochie ones. The reason I put it over the previous two is just because I like the area that's placed in a lot more. Number 25. LR Luncheon 2 is simple and effective, just requiring some overall game knowledge and even some platforming. It's good for what it is. What more can I say? Number 24. LR Sand Kingdom 2 is short and sweet. I don't know why, but I've always liked this one, so not much more I can say. Number 23. LR Ruin Kingdom is fun, and I like how it's not really obvious where it is. But then, at least when I did find it, it dawned on me that the dragon area has the same scratch marks, and bam, it was another free coin grab. I gotta say, that was not a bad hit art. Am I right, my sleep paralysis demon? Right? Right? Am I right? Am I... Number 22. It's another Poochie Moon, and it's from Luncheon. I do quite enjoy this one. With a lot of the other ones, it's nice and simple, but it doesn't take 4 seconds to find. But when you do notice it, it's kind of hard to unnotice. So, I like this one quite a bit. Number 21. Wooded Kingdom hint art is, like, fine, I guess. I got it without fully utilizing the hint art. I just kind of looked for the bushes and I was fine. But when I did use it, I can't lie and say it's not a bad one. I really like utilizing the compass in these. Number 20. LR Wooded is a nice and simple one. And it's not completely obvious without game knowledge. Because who remembers the random Sherm wall? Anyways, I do like this one. Now that we're halfway through, if I'm being honest, I can safely say that a lot of these hint arts are starting to blend together in the mid-rankings. The ones I could solidly say are the worst 5 and the best 10. So how about a rapid fire numbers 19 to 11, where I just quickly go over all of them so we can get to the actual ones I can say my opinion on. Because I'm sure as an audience, me kind of just rambling about the same stuff can get tiring. So let's quickly do this. Anyways, from 19 to 11, these are all interchangeable. 19, Bowser's Kingdom Hint Art. 18, Darkside Hint Art 1. 17, Darkside Hint Art 6. 16, Darkside Hint Art 9. 15, Darkside Hint Art 10. 14, L-Art Luncheon 1. 13, L-Art Lost Kingdom 2. 12, L-Art Cascade Kingdom. 11, L-Art Bowser's Kingdom. Alright, so with now all of those gone over, let's get into the top 10 best hint arts in Mario Odyssey, in my opinion. Number 10, starting with the great one, Sand Kingdom's hint art is one that's really smartly designed in my opinion. They don't give you much, but what they do give you, to locate it, is really nice. I do really like how they put the Crazy Cap store as to show what kingdom the moon is native to. And when you do finally get to where you need to be, it becomes obvious as to where the moon is hiding when checking the stones. It's really good. Number 9. From one lake kingdom to another, let's talk about Dark Side Hint Art 3. I do love how this one is designed. I like how it's kind of a pixelated version of the garden area in the Mushroom Kingdom. Also, yes, this is definitely the Mushroom Kingdom. You could tell by the same purple coins, which are a notifier that you should come to this kingdom. So I think this one is fun to crack. Number 8. Let's talk Cap Kingdom. It's one of my favorite moons from a design perspective. It's very simple and effective on what it's showing, that being the Moon Kingdom lineup of Kingdom civilians. When you notice that it's just a matter of matching colors and finding the right order, and grabbing the moon. It's just simple enough for me to enjoy this moon, and I think it's well deserving of the number 8 spot. Also nostalgia box. Number 7. Remember how I said in Metro's hint art that the ground tiles in Lake were utilized better in a different hint art? Well, L-Art Lake Kingdom is one of the best. And we'll take a look at this cryptic mess. Like, that I enjoy. So this one requires some elite ball knowledge in noticing how the patterns are very reminiscent of the Lake Kingdom floor tiles. Not only that, looking closely at the Crazy Cap store design, you can notice how it's just like the late one. Kind of how it's poking out of a wall. Which I think is a really cool detail and makes this one a lot easier to find. I just really love the puzzle aspect of this hint art. So, I think number 7 is a pretty good spot for it. Number 6. L-Art Snow Kingdom is cool. I love how they use the beanstalk as an indicator of where the Luigi is. And I actually lied. This one has a bit more bias towards it, and it's the only time I will mention this hint art utilizes Captain Toad, as there was a Captain Toad event happening while this hint art was made. I didn't mention it when it first came up for Ruined Kingdom's L-Art, but that's what bumped this one higher than the rest. Just besides having a overall really good design for hint art. And that's also why Ruined Kingdom's L-Art was pushed up a lot more. It's because of Captain Toad. Number 5. Now I know this may be hypocritical given how I just put this one in the bottom 5, but I don't care. Darkside Hint Art 7 is modern day Mona Lisa. Jokes aside, this hint art broke me. But not for me to look it up, but it felt so rewarding when I found it. At first I thought this was in Sand Kingdom, and it was just a weird lighting thing, and a shadow making up the photo. But without any luck, I decided to swap kingdoms. It turns out, it's in Lost Kingdom, and using the alphabetical chords makes this one a lot easier. I just like how much of a hunt this one is, and its difficulty really benefits it. This is quite possibly the biggest hot take in this video. Because who likes this art except for me? I love this one. Number 4. Now these get really difficult to rank. The next three are just so good and I found it so difficult to rank them. But my least favorite of the three is probably LR Metro Kingdom 1. Now this one is a genius hint art and manipulates you into thinking that it loves you when it actually doesn't. It's just draining you emotionally until it breaks off from you because they are just using you. What I mean is that you may think it's in the obvious spot right here, but no, it's actually way smarter and is placed right at the top of this building in this pool. It's just super unique because it pulls a nice bait and switch. So it's safe to say this one is perfect for top 5. We're in the top 3. Let's start off with a bang. Dark Side Hint Art 8 is the second Spot the Difference hint art, and I love these moons. This one requires some hyper focus though. And once it dawns on you, it makes you feel like a genius. In fact, can you spot the difference before I call it out? So yeah, you may notice the lack of the blue fork guy right here. Then, good job. I'm sure your mom is very proud of you. There's not much else to say besides, hey, this is pretty cool. Number 2. This hint art is very smart. I love how it works in every way. Obviously, Mushrooms Kingdom's hint art is in Cap Kingdom, given how it's literally just Top Hat Tower. But that's not why I like it. It's the way of getting the star that makes it cool. You have to have your camera lined up exactly to how the picture looks, and you get it. Just ground pound the area where the hint art is the most accurate. I don't know why, but this one has just stuck with me, and I love it. It's beyond creative and probably one of the most unique hint arts in the game. But it isn't number 1. Speaking of, number 1. Now, I want you to take a good look at this Luigi art and tell me in the comments where you think it is. I'll give you some time. Well, if you didn't already know, like I didn't, I will explain what I thought and how this hint art breaks one of the criterias I set, and well, how it's quite possibly one of the most clever things in all of video games, in my opinion. No, I'm not lying to you. I genuinely find this hint art to be one of the most smartest rug pulls in all of gaming, because when you understand it, you will be as shocked as I was. My first thought was this area right here. It fell under both coordinates and has a nice view of the wedding hall. But I tried and tried again to no avail. I kept swapping spots until the wedding hall was lined up exactly how it was in the photo, to no luck. So I gave up and looked it up. And let me tell you, my jaw dropped. It was hidden in plain sight. Yet I didn't take notice of it until now. The hint art uses the Kingdom brochure to hide its Luigi. That is so clever. You have all of these kingdoms using these brochures. You pretty much will pay no mind to them besides your first playthrough. And they hide the Luigi right there. So, using the hint art and looking at the brochure, you'll notice that the image right next to the Kingdom Hall is, well, an area that you can ground pound. So you go to the area, you ground pound, and bam, you got yourself the last Luigi. So, massive props to whoever at Nintendo came up with this, because, my god, you are a genius. I just can't get over how clever this moon is. It's not even a moon, it's Luigi, but how does anyone come up with this? But that's enough for that art. I just had to go over how this is what inspired me to make this video. This hint art, because of how clever it is. And that's it. That's the ranking. I don't know exactly how to end a big video like this, besides saying thank you for watching. You all have been motivating me to keep making more and more content, And all I have to say is thank you so much for 200 subscribers. It's honestly been a dream of mine to actually have people view content that I put a lot of work into. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for all of this stuff. I really don't deserve it. Also, due to the poll winning in a landslide, I will be posting videos bi-weekly now, as opposed to weekly, to give me more time to work on bigger videos that are scripted like this. I do have some challenge videos in mind, but the next video might just so happen to be about a certain round character, so stick around. Anyways, my name is Carbon. Thank you for 200 subscribers. I will see you all next time. This video was sponsored by Nord.